This is EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian football. We've had a large number of people tuned in today, so thank you very much. Welcome to the post-match show. Welcome to the post-match show. Nigeria won, Russia won in Moscow. Congratulations to Toluwalashe Arokodare for scoring his first Super Eagles goal. First Super Eagles goal. But here's how we're going to take this today, guys. I'm going to talk about all the different players. I'm going to talk about all the different players that played today, talk about the game in general, and then I will give you guys an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on the game. I'll start from the goalkeeper, Maduka Okoye. I think Maduka Okoye had a very fine game today. I'm someone that has been looking forward to seeing what Maduka can do for the Super Eagles after going to Indonesia and recovering his form and recovering his confidence. And he held himself in high esteem today, made three fantastic saves, kept us in the game when Russia could have scored. I mean, Russia still had some other opportunities to score, but Maduka Okoye did well when it was called upon. His passing could have been better, wasn't the most accurate, but it's also because he was playing quite a number of long balls. I thought he commanded his defense well, and congratulations to Maduka Okoye on his performance today. I like that we are going to be having good competition in our goalkeeping position between Maduka and Nwabali. They should fight for that spot. They should tussle. Nobody should feel so comfortable. So I was happy about that. In the defense, Shemi Ajayi and William Trustekong. Shemi Ajayi didn't have too much to do today, really. Scored that one on goal. He made one clearance. And I felt like there were times that he wasn't really communicating with Bruno all that well, where they could have communicated a bit better. Positioning could have been better for the own goal that he conceded. As for William Trust Ekong made one block and five clearances. Also took one to the stomach or groin area, trying to defend for us. One aerial duel. Not too much for them to do from the center of the park. A lot of the Russian attacks came from the flanks and them trying to whip in crosses. Bright Osai Samuel on the right hand side. Osai Samuel showed a lot of energy today, which I quite liked. His passing was decent, could have been better, but he was also strong in his duels and he won five duels today. I thought he had a good game. In the first half, Osai Samuel was probably our best player, and in the second half, a few more players came to life. But I was happy about that. With Bruno Onyemechi on the left side. Bruno Oyemechi, he's one of those players that you either like him or you hate him. His performances can be very topsy-turvy. Sometimes he makes the wrong decision. Sometimes, he just tries to go forward and he loses the ball. But when he's on, dead balls, when he's crossing the ball, Bruno Oyemechi showed a little bit of quality. There was the free kick that he took that led to a half chance. There was the cross that he had that who nearly scored it. I don't remember exactly. Somebody nearly scored from the half chance. So it was an okay performance from Bruno Yemechi. And then Franco Onyeka and Rafael Onyedika in midfield. I think Rafael Onyedika and Franco Onyeka had a good game. They both had good games today. Onyeka created one half chance for us. He won 9 duels in the midfield, was solid, made some tackles, made some interceptions. Same with Rafael Onyedika, made tackles, made interceptions, won most of his duels, completed most of his passes. Onyedika is that player that does not do too much. He plays simple football, gets the ball, gives it to his more creative players, gets the ball, gives it to his more creative players. Was in the right place at the right time to make interceptions when Russia were trying to play the ball into the box. And he kept things ticking and moving for us. So I was happy with how our midfield did the attack. We had Moses Simon. Today was not Moses Simon's game at all. With all due respect to Moses Simon, today was probably the worst player on the field today. His dribbling didn't quite happen. In duels, he wasn't strong in duels. The right back for Russia had his number today. The right back had his number. The right back just had him under control. Even his set pieces were not the most accurate. So not a good game for Simon today. Chrysanthos Uche, also not a good game for Chrysanthos Uche. Not quite as bad as Simon, but wasn't a good game at all. I think the way the first half went, the way the Russians were playing, they really stifled Uche. Uche is a guy that likes to run into space, and the Russians did not give us that space to run into because they were very compact. I mean, in certain moments, Uche still showed how solid and how strong he is. You can't take away his natural strength, but I felt like overall he could have been better. His three dribbles that he attempted were all unsuccessful. In duels, Uche lost most of his duels in today's game, which is not normal for him. So I know that Crisanto Uche is a bright talent. He's going to have better matches for Nigeria, but today was just not his best. As for Fisayo Dele Bashiru deputizing on the right side, playing in a position that is unnatural to him. I thought he put in a good effort. He had a good chance to score in the first half. which was saved by the Russian goalkeeper. And he also just tried to link up the play and tried to drive us forward. There were many times that Dave Bashir was the one trying to drag the team forward. He got fouled a number of times, won some free kicks for us. He was very tired and stressed at the end of the game. I don't blame him, but I thought he did quite well today. Victor Boniface started up front. In the first half, I felt like Boniface wasn't getting opportunities towards him, but I also felt like Boniface could have done more to get involved in the game. For the whole time that he was on the field, 61 minutes, he only had 22 touches. Arokodare came on for the last 29, 30 minutes, and Arokodare had about 16, 17 touches. So I feel like even though they were not creating enough opportunities for Boniface, I feel like Boniface also could have done more to get involved in the game, because I think that's a quality that a lot of top strikers have. When your team is not doing so well, you try to find a way to get involved. You drop deeper, you pass the ball around, you field the ball, you make your players to be excited and be ready to play. It's something that I think that Boniface could have done better at. I don't think he had a bad game per se. The one chance that we had in the first half was a good pass from Victor Boniface, but I just think that in that first half he could have played with his team a bit more. He could have played with his team a bit more. He could have been involved a bit more, and he could have contributed to the game a bit more. Coming off the bench today, we had Arokodare coming off the bench. Once again, I would say congratulations to Toruba Lashe Arokodare on scoring his first goal for Nigeria, for the Super Eagles. Good interception after the Russian goalkeeper decided to sell game. Thank you to the goalkeeper. And then he finished well. Didn't take too much time on the ball, didn't overthink the situation. Just played it into the bottom corner. I thought it was good. His hold up play today let me down quite a bit. He was very strong in the duels. He was strong in terms of winning the ball when it comes to him. But then when he tries to lay it off to somebody, he wasn't good. When he tried to lay it off, he just wasn't quite good at laying it off. But at the end of the day, football is all about moments. Arokodare took the one moment that he had. Even though he didn't have too many touches of the ball, he took the one moment that he had. And I'm going to give him credit for that. Congratulations to him for scoring his first goal. Olakunle Olusegun came on later in the game, didn't really have much to do in the match, was just trying to help to keep the game under control at the time. So I'm not really going to. He had only 5 touches of the ball in the time that he was on. But yeah, I thought it was good. And then Igor Obu came on. Can't really talk about him. Didn't really do too much. So just to talk on something. So I know that a lot of people don't watch the ins and outs of what is actually happening on the game. So the criticism that a lot of people had for Boniface was the lack of pressing in the first half. But if you watched the game, you would see that in the second half, and I'll probably do a tactical analysis of this on another day in a different video when we're breaking down the game bit by bit. But if you watch the game, one thing that Eric Shell really changed at halftime, was the way we were pressing. In the first half, Boniface was the only one that was up front. He was trying to call his teammates to assist him, and then the press was not happening. But if you watch the second half, we started pressing a lot higher, and we started pressing with more bodies. If you go back and watch the goal that Arokodare scored, there were two people that were pressing from the front, and one defender was marked. Arokodare was marking the second defender, and then the goalkeeper made a bad pass. Arokodare was sharp to intercept, and he finished quite well. So you might yes, praise Arokodare for intercepting and for winning that ball and for finishing. But at the same time, we did change the way we were pressing in the second half. We did change the point of attack. We became more aggressive in the second half. We started playing more forward. I think the coach realized that, see, we're losing the game, so we have to come up a little bit more. We have to try harder. We cannot just, allow them to come at us. And that was something that Arokodare and the rest of the team benefited from. That's why we're able to get more. That's why we're able to get more touches of the ball in their own third. That's why we're able to create more chances in the second half. I don't think it was down to any one player. It was down to a systematic change that was made. So all in all, I thought it was a half decent game. There are some things that we still need to fix, because let's be realistic. Russia should have scored more goals. Russia had good opportunities to score more goals. The chances that Russia missed, if that was our player that missed those chances, we would have insulted them the way you guys have been insulting people in the comments the whole game. We would have been talking negatively. So we have to give them credit. We have to say that, sorry, we have to say that there are things that we can and should be doing better. Our defending from crosses is not good enough. Our defending from set pieces is especially bad. And these are things that we need to change. Somebody is saying I said Tolu was not good for the game. I did not say that, guys. Please try to listen to me carefully when I'm talking about these things. I said that Tolu was not going to come and change the game, because at the end of the day, it is going to be him trying to hold up the play. The way we were playing in the first half, I said it was not going to change the game. If you noticed, again, this is not trying to defend anybody or trying to criticize anybody. Even before Boniface went off the field in the second half, the game had changed the way we were playing. We were pressing with more bodies. We were coming on the ascendancy. Boniface had the header that he nearly scored. So the game had, well, he didn't nearly score, but he had the header from the half chance. So the game had changed a little bit. And then Arokudare came on and fit into that system a bit better. Tolu did not change the game. I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. The coach made tactical changes and things were different. Um, all in all, I'll break this down better another time. I've learned enough to not argue with people in the comments too much, because you guys have, a lot of people get very emotional when they like certain people, they say things. When they don't like certain people, they say things, which is well within your rights. You are free to have your opinions. But all in all, let me just give my match ratings. For Maduka Okoye, I'm going to give Maduka a solid 7 out of 10. I thought Maduka was he was my man of the match. I thought he kept the game under control for us. I thought he kept the game in balance. My man of the match, I'm going to give him maybe 7.5. Let me not be too harsh. 7.5, because the goal, there was really nothing that he could do. He made saves when he needed to make saves. His ball distribution wasn't so good, so that's why I'm going to knock some points. 7.5 for Maduka Okoye. Shemi Ajayi, I'm going to give Shemi Ajayi probably a 6, or a 6. Yeah, I don't want to rate him less than 6. I didn't think it was quite good today. He didn't have too much to do, but of course, when you score an own goal, that's always going to count against you. So Shemi, I'm going to give him a 6. For William Trust Ekong, I'll give William Trust Ekong maybe a 6.3. It wasn't also that great, but he won some aerial duels. He made some clearances, so I'll give him a 6.3. Brighter Samuel on the right side of the defense, I'll give him a 7. I thought Brighter Samuel was energetic. I thought he was working hard today. Even though the goal came from his side, it was an overload. Dele Bashiru should have been assisting him, or Onyedika, so I'm not going to knock him too much for that. Bruno Emechi on the left side, I'll give Bruno a 6.5. I thought he was shaky in moments. I thought he was good in some moments going forward, but not the worst performance. For Onyeka and Onyedika, I'll give them both 7 rating. I thought they intercepted well. I thought they defended well. I thought, they were good in the midfield today. In the first half, maybe not as much. Going forward, obviously, they're not the most quality players going forward. Onyeka tried to take a shot. We saw how that went. But I'll give them a 7. Moses Simon, I said earlier that I think Moses Simon was probably my worst player on the field today. I'll give Moses Simon like a 5.8. Just because I gave Ajayi 6, I'll give Simon like a 5.8. I don't want to give him anything too low, but I thought that Simon could have done better today. The most experienced player on the field, probably maybe Ekong, I don't know, but one of the most experienced players on the team, senior player in the team. I thought he should have been involved more. I thought his defender had him too under control for the entire match. So not the best game for him today. Chrysanthus Uche, I'll give him a 6. I also thought that Uche did not have a very good game today. I thought he could have done better. I thought but obviously the system that the Russians were playing, combined with the system that we were playing, did not work in his favor. But I still believe in the quality of Chrysanthus Uche. Dele Bashiru, I'll give Dele Bashiru maybe a 6.7. I think he did well. I thought he showed good efforts driving forward. But when you miss a one-on-one, when you miss a clear chance, maybe it's going to count against you a little bit. So I'll give him a 6.7. Dele Bashiru, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great, and wasn't as good as the midfielders or as good as Maduka Okoye. And then Victor Boniface, I'll give Victor Boniface, I would say a 6.5. Not a good game overall from him today. I know everybody judges based on goals. He did not score. He had one header that was saved by the goalkeeper. But also, I feel like in the first half, he could have done more to involve himself in the game, because we were not creating chances in that first half. If you watch it, we're just not creating chances. So I feel like he could have done more to involve himself in the game. He could have done more to help himself get opportunities to score. and that's what I'm going to fault him for. Tolu Kodare came off the bench, one chance, one goal. Football is a game of moments. So for that, I'm going to give him a 7. Even though I felt like his hold up was decent, but then his link up after holding the play up was not good enough. Um, I'm still going to give him a 7 because at the end of the day, he scored a goal. You know, it got us our draw. If he didn't score that goal, we would not have drawn it. Well, I'm not going to say somebody else would have missed or somebody else would have scored. We will never know because it won't happen like that again. But Arokodare is the one that got the moment and he took his moment. And in 2025 that we're living in, people only care about stats. When you score, good game. When you don't score, bad game. That's the way people judge football these days. So I think I'll give him a 7 rating. Olakunle Olusegun played only 14, 15 minutes, didn't have much to do. I don't even know if I should rate him. Maybe I'll give him a 6.5. You didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything good. And then Igor Ogbu did not play enough for me to give him a match rating. But once again, my player of the match, Maduka Emil Okoye in goal. Fantastic return to the Super Eagles goal, and hopefully more games and more good performances to come for him in the future. And then once again, massive congratulations to Toluwalashe Emmanuel Arokodare scoring the first goal or his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Is no small feat, and I'm sure that he's proud of himself. I am sure that his family will be very proud of him as well, and of course, all his supporters. Okay, now it is time for me to bring you guys on to share some thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know who impressed you, who did not impress you, and let's have a conversation. And I will take as many people as we can in the time that we have before we wrap up for this evening. Thank you very much. Hello, Mr. Adedotun. Good evening.
Thank you, Ayoti. Good evening. Well, it was a good match. It was a good match. I really enjoyed the match. But now you can see the quality of the Russian league. Most of their players play in their country, and I can see the teamwork. Even though they've been banned from international competitions for going to 3 years now, but they didn't play like the as if they were banned. They played like a team that have been playing at the World Cup. So I think it was a good game. But one thing I would say now is this. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always been a fan of Maduka Okoye. Just since he got his breakthrough in Guinea, he has not looked back. So I will give him my man of the match. Those saves he made, you have to credit him for those saves. That's that. But the question is, must Eric Chell play Moses Simon for 90 minutes? I've been
He
saying
didn't
it.
have any sub now.
Doesn't matter. If I've been saying it when I was still playing ball. Somewhere Moses Simon cannot dribble me. His game is one way. Any sensible defender will mark Simon out. He's a senior player in that team. At least is the if he's not the vice captain, if he's the second vice captain, he should be able to do the needful. I don't know why, but it's a good game. Tolaro Kolare, like I said, congrats to him. But I still think he's not yet, to me, he's not yet a spy good material. He still has a lot to learn. Let's forget about the goal. He still has a lot to learn. No, anything about that, I think it was a good game. It was a good game, but the coach still needs to work on our defense. That I think our defenders they should learn how to communicate
Mm.
because sometimes you see that they go Ekong and Ajayi sometimes they go for the same ball, which is not supposed to be. Even the Russians had many scoring chances, but they just couldn't convert it. So, like I said, honestly, good game. I wish them well, but I hope Erichel can learn from the mistakes of the 3 matches we played. I'm going forward. I don't know. I think he has a kind of a personal relationship with Simon, but national team is bigger than anybody's relationship. When someone is not doing the job, you should please yank him up and
Mm.
bring other people. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adedotun. Nice to hear from you and get your contribution. Okay, we have Munachi waiting. Munachi, welcome.
Hi, Uncle IOC.
Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening from here. I watched the match, I watched the game, and I'll just give the team the whole display. I'll just give them I'll cut them a bit of slacks. I don't know what went wrong today, but today wasn't the best of
Mm,
games for them. Maduka Okoye came to the rescue, and I think Coach Eric Shell should be worried. Why did I say so? Right side of the defense, he has considered
mm.
the game. Yeah, I understand that Daily Bashir should have covered, but I still feel like he should be worried. He should be worried. Then again, for Moses Simon, he didn't have the best of games. The three games, he hasn't had the best of games. I think he should look at himself, look at how far he has come, and then compare and contrast, and then work on his dribbling, work on taking your. It's more like the defenders. They just watch clips of him. Three games he hasn't done quite well.
Your connection is breaking up a little
So
bit now.
to see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on. We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah. So I said congratulations to Tolu for taking the chance when he saw the chance to he took it and he finished off well. Boniface, I think I don't know. I don't want to say his days in Super Eagles are numbered, but if anything, if I can take anything from this, I think Dessas should be invited henceforth over Boniface because I don't. He doesn't. I'm not saying that he's not good, but games he has just been abysmal. I won't lie about that. So I think Dessa should take the nod now because Dessa has shown that he can actually lead the line. In the absence of Victor Osimhen. Then I will agree with the last speaker, Mr. Adedosu. Eric Chell should look at his notes because now the World Cup qualifier is going to be, I think, September, if I'm not wrong. September,
Yeah,
right?
September.
Yeah, so I think the last look at is not know the couple of players. Anything can happen. Anyways, these players can pick up form. Any other person can pick up form. So I just think that we need to beat South Africa in Johannesburg because
Mm,
it's not good. I mean, the UK, yeah, you are where you are. So all of us, we want to come to,
mm.
watch them at the World Cup. So yeah, so
All
that's
right.
basically my own thoughts. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
opportunity.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
it. Okay. Yes, Mr. Ladipupo, welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, my bro.
Yes, good
Sorry,
evening.
I was going to ask what did you rate Boniface? Sorry,
What did I rate him? Did I say six?
six, and you gave Uche a six.
Yes.
To be honest, that's not a very fair this thing because
How?
Uche, as much as he didn't show what we were expecting from him, he still showed some touches, some energetic move. He didn't do too much, but he did more than what would have made you give Boniface a
No,
six.
see, I
Because
understand. No, see, the
because
thing is that
okay, okay,
let's
let's
not let's
let's
not get into a debate. I understand that you are not quite a big fan of Boniface's performances for the Super Eagles, but if you are being objective,
yes.
today he did more than Christanto Suchi. Today, oh, I'm not
I
saying all
don't know.
time.
Maybe I'm the only one,
Today,
but I don't know any minute during that match that Boniface has impressed me or any other Super Eagles fan in this
but
match we've just
But,
seen.
but
Oh.
but that's the thing. I think so. The thing is, a lot of fans like you have a perception of what he is and who he is and what he does. So you are watching the game from that lens. I try to just watch the game on slate zero. Forget anything that has happened in the past
Yeah, with
because
an open mind. Yeah,
no,
I
with an open
understand.
mind. And again, that's why I said, like, some people say, oh, you're defending him. But I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just trying to say it how I see it from my point of view for the particular game. In the first half, like I said, we were not creating opportunities. He wasn't really getting on the ball. That's why in the whole time he played, he only had 22 touches. But I also said I think he should have done more to try to get himself on the ball. Because we see
Yeah,
it with quality strikers, the likes of Harry Kane. If his team is not creating opportunities, he's going to drop down into the midfield, going to try to get a few touches. But at the same time, the chance that we had, the only chance we had in the first half, who played the pass to Fisayo? It was Victor Boniface. So that has to count for something. The only chance we had, he created it. He also had the one chance or half chance that he got. He headed it on target. Yes, it wasn't the goalkeeper saved it comfortably. But I mean, so I'm not going to praise him and say he had a good game. No, but he wasn't
Okay,
bad.
maybe I should move on from
Yes, but
Boniface's,
move.
but
Let's move on.
generally, I think Chel has he has a team with these guys. He has something to do. He's going to prove a point with these guys. I see him doing lots more because for him to be able to get a draw from with this set of players. People are saying Simon this and that, but he didn't have so much luxury of players to change with and dance with or say okay bring this one bring that one. There was no much player. Imagine this guy playing wing. What's his name? Dele Bashiru. That's to say we don't have so much options. But I see him doing well. To be very honest, I'm very happy with him this match, I'm just going to say we should take the positives and also pick the negatives and work on it and going into the next game. But yeah, I'm happy with the result and yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Adepo. Thank
Yeah,
you.
bro.
Somebody said I'm a Boniface fanboy. God forbid, I'm not a fanboy of any footballer. I'm not a fanboy of any footballer. I say what I see. You might disagree with me. That's perfectly fine. But I'm not a fanboy. Welcome, Mr. Eddie.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Can you? Okay, good evening. Well done. Great analysis.
Thank
I've often said something about the Super Eagles, mostly about our midfield and the defense. Pesero saw something about our defense before the last Nations Cup, and he decided to do something.
you.
Get the midfielders to assist the defense. So it was so difficult for teams to break us down. And so we considered less goals in that competition. If you watch this Russian team, you have not analyzed the Russian team why we're finding it difficult to break them. If you notice, they were having 5 people at the defense. So it became difficult for Moses to penetrate. There was nobody going to assist Moses when he had 2 people on him. Maybe if Chukwueze were there to play that free role, he would have been there to give him that assist, to be able to penetrate those 2 people that were always on him. They know him. They know
Yeah.
what he can do. So they're always placing 2 guys. So he found it. So if you watch the second half, it became a little bit easy for him because I think Oyemeshi was coming, and I think the coming of Orokodare also helped him. So there were like 3 people there, all facing like 2 people. I think Mado Okoye did very well. He did very well. And for Dele Bashiru, I don't think that is his natural wing. He would have played better if he were in the midfield. Would have done better. And then for Rokodare, yes, he has this thing to be able to hold the ball. But just like you said, he still need to be able to help hold on to the ball very well and release the ball on time. So what I want you to do is help us look at the Russians, why it was so difficult for us to penetrate them. They did something. And I think any team that wants to play us will do that same thing. We do the same. And I want to give a shout out to Eric Shell. The second half, whatever he did, we were able to now push back the Russians, push them back, and we're able to play our game. So I give it to Shell. I think Shell has something. He has something. And I think if he had his full squad, I mean, the Russians would have really found it really difficult to hold somebody like Lukman. It would have been really difficult for them. So nice one. This is the first time I'm
Thank you.
coming
Thank
on your show, seeing you on YouTube. I think I'm going to subscribe.
Thank you. So
You're
yes,
doing a great
subscribe.
job.
We have so much content, interviews, podcasts. We're live every week. So please subscribe if you are here for the first time. Thank you, Mr. Eddie.
I will. I will. Well done.
And very quickly before I bring on the next person, so Mr. Eddie raised a good point. Just talking about the Russian side. Something else that is to note. Let me just give credit to the team. Russia have not considered a goal since 2023. I mean, obviously they are not playing World qualifiers or Euros qualifiers or anything like that, but they haven't considered a goal since 2023, and the Super Eagles were able to break that. So that's just one more other feat that we're able to achieve in this game. I have a couple more people waiting, so if you are waiting, please just make sure you are in front of your camera so I can see you and know that you are ready. Otherwise, I might skip you and go to somebody else. Okay, welcome, sir, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. I will just be very quick. I think that everybody can see that, like Smith Lion has been saying, Chell is better than any coach in Nigeria. The only coach that can stand Chel in Nigeria is of blessed memory, Stephen Keshi.
Mm,
Stephen Keshi is the only coach that I know that give him boys from Sunshine Stars. If he says those are his boys, he knows what he's going to do at any time. He used Ubabuna from Sunshine Stars. He used Kwambi from Sunshine Stars. So, and I'm from Mondo State, so it made me happy at that time.
mm.
That by the side. Secondly, we can see that there's no quality in our NPFL. We were losing, and Chel does not have the balls to bring any of them in. You see? So we should just die. We should die that to bring in
Local
NPFL
coach.
stars. Let us just die that of stuff.
Mm,
Then another thing that I'm really happy with today is the fact that even though with less quality, we were able to see do one or two things because it's also glaring that the reason why Chel could not make substitution on time was because there's nobody
there's
on
no
the
quality
bench.
on the bench.
There's nobody on the bench. So one of the things that made Russia have more chances in the late second half is because they brought in fresh leg and our guys were tired. If
Mm,
we also had the same guys, we will have been able to stop them. All those shots that Maduka had to save would not have come. That is
mm,
what I believe. Our
mm,
guys were tired, and it will show when you're playing against. You play 70 minutes, then they just brought somebody in 5 minutes ago. That person will be sharper than you are. That is the truth.
mm.
So, and lastly, I think that we need to just get that Tino and Jorin. I hope that Ebenezer can break into that Inter Milan team, and I hope that we'll be able to get Kayode Michael. I
Mm.
hope he's able to also play in Brentford so that we get Kayode Michael into that team, and then we will be doing better if Lukman plays where Moses is playing. So Moses should be coming on in the second half. So I believe if we had the complement of then another thing in that midfield, in that diamond formation, I think the best thing is just to tell Uche to play from the left so he can help the defense more. He's very strong. Let him go and help the defense. So let him play from the left. Then let's get what is his name? What is his name? Raphael to play from the right,
Mm.
and then it will be to be doing the passes for the two center forward. I think it will just help because what we lacked, I wrote it in the comment the other time, was the fact that we did not have a ball carrying person who could create, spaces, who could do some movement, and that is what Iwobi can do for us. So going forward, yes, he's seeing you. So going forward, I think Iwobi needs to just play where Uche was playing. Uche should be dropped to the left side of the midfield,
Mm.
and then Rafael Oyedika on the right side. We can now have Ndidi or Frank Oyeka to just be the base for them.
All right.
Chukwueze can always come in later to help if we need somebody to unlock. So we can have Chukwueze and Iwobi at the same time.
Mm.
So thank you very much for the
All
opportunity.
right.
But I'm very happy with this game.
Thank
I
you very
think
much.
Chell has shown that he is tactically sound, even though we got the goal from luck.
Mm. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you very much, Michael. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Michael is a regular on the channel, and he raised a good point. I'm bringing Capitano on next, but Michael raised a good point about Coach Eric Shell using the players that he has at his disposal. But the big thing that I think is glaring to us is that Papa Daniel, Isaac Xavier, Ali Misikiru, Ismaila Sodiq all went for this game, but it appears as if they just went up to make up. They just went to make up the numbers because even though they were tired legs on the field, the coach did not even for 1 second think of bringing those guys on. And a lot of people like to champion for MPFL players, like to say they must get a chance. But if the coach has seen them in close quarters and he doesn't think that they are good enough, then what does that say about our league? But that's a conversation for another day entirely about the strength of our league. But Captain, welcome, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, welcome. Good evening.
Uh, good evening. Well, the guys they had a good game. They had a sound game, and I want to really talk about the the supporting striking role over the years, over the past few years, that has been the problem of the Nigerian team. In the past few years, we had Rabiu Ali. He came in, he filled it, and recently we have players like Deli Bashiru. We have players like what's his name, the guy in Sevilla. Those are the players that can actually hold the ball, and they can attract, they can bring in defenders to themselves and release passes. So these are the players that we need to like really bring in into the national team. When it comes to defending, like the position four, a lot of people can actually play that position in Nigeria. Even those that are not really good, they can use their energy and bring something out. But we need players that are tactically sound in the team. Team like Ghana and South Africa, to be candid, if we should actually say the truth, these guys play better football than Nigeria. That's the truth.
Mm,
Because they play good tactical football. You see, you enjoy their football. What we do is we just mark, we tackle, we get the ball from one side to the other, just like that. It's not really like me. I really follow Nigerian football, but I'm not encouraged. I just watch
mm,
it because I'm a Nigerian. You understand? So we need players that can play tactical football. This game that was played, Bashiru played a wrong position. We didn't have any midfielder that can actually hold the ball and play and hold the ball and distribute. We didn't have. He should have been the one playing that position, while Uche is strong. He has the strength, can run the wing, and also Moses Simon. Of course, he has been there for a long time. He should know when to run with the ball and when to release the pass. You understand? I
mm,
know people are really blaming Boniface. Yeah, sometimes we might, but the truth is the strikers, Nigerian strikers, they don't get passes. A player like Osimhen is a kind of player that can only thrive in the Nigerian team, right? Because he's really aggressive, he chases the ball, and sometimes he very lucky he wins the ball. That is why he can really thrive. You understand? But other strikers, who is feeding them? Player like Iwobi is one player that sometimes Nigerian bashes him, but the truth be told, Iwobi is a standout player in the team. Is someone that can actually give some last pass that could lead to something good. We lack that in the team. Well,
mm.
Erichel has started a good job, and I think with time it's going to be better. Players like Chukwueze needs to come up because sometimes he plays well, sometimes he doesn't play well. We need Chukwueze to be to be on form always. And I think we have a good attack. We need the chemistry. That's another problem we have in the team. Players, they want to live in their head. But look at the Spanish team. Even though those players are really good, but the thing is when they get the ball, they pass the ball. But we want to just hold on to the ball. Those kind of mentality should change in the team. Nigerians, we have good talent, raw talent, good. But we just need to come together and make it great. Yeah, thank
Right.
you for having me.
Thank you very much, Capitano. I believe this is your first time calling the
Yeah,
show.
this is my first
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah.
Make sure you join us every time.
All right,
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, so well said from Capitano. We have quite a number of people still waiting to call, so I want to try to take everybody before we are out of time for today. Victor, welcome.
Hi, hi. Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
It's my first time here, and I really must say I really enjoyed myself.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
very much.
this.
Thank you.
Looking at the match, I would say I'm quite impressed because the very first thing in looking at a match is to also look at your opponents, and I think what many Nigerians are missing is how strong and how defensively disciplined the Russian side was and have been right in their last matches. Um, when any team playing against a low block is definitely going to struggle. And then a lot of people were complaining about having to pass the ball from the right, the left, and back, and all of that. Basically, that's what you get when you are playing against a low block. not so much you can do when you have to go through five, six, and three players at once. So, but for them to have still played with the kind of temerity they played with, and with the kind of lean squad we had, I think that was good. And I think I am a bit more confident that we might be able to compete, at the higher stage,
Mm.
on at the higher level. Looking at individual performances, yes, your ratings were good. I know there has been commas around Boniface and Moses Simon. I think for Boniface, I would not say much until I go back and properly analyze the game and look at the heat maps. I really wanted to understand where his positioning was, but I think what really changed in the second half was the coach changing the game to quickly let us, attack the ball before Russia settles into their formation. The moment they settle into that formation, there's really not much you can do. So you have to take that high press. And by the time we scored the goal, you mentioned that there were two persons pressing. There were actually five, right?
Mm.
And they were pressing in that star formation that forced the error from the keeper. Why? They had already blocked the passing lanes to the three mid players. So there was no way he could send that pass out. So he had to go to the nearest. And then Tolu was just smart enough to have, read that and intercepted that. And that was a very good strike from him. I think the challenge might have been for Boniface, maybe the frustration from not getting enough balls, and which eventually made him start putting up a lackluster and almost frustrated attitude, which I did not think was good enough from him. I would have expected more from a player of his caliber. He's a professional, so when your team is not exactly getting the job done, you get back there and and dig in. You don't always have to have it, set for you on a platter, right? So I think that's where, but I can understand Tolu putting in that effort. I mean, it's his first, and then you want to, show that hunger and all of that. So I think it was a good game overall, considering the options that Eric Chell had available to him. And yeah, I enjoyed myself, and thank you
Mm.
so much for your challenge.
All right. Thank you
Right,
very much, Victor. Appreciate
thank
you.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody said I should please bring him on next. He has to. So if I bring you on, just know that if you talk more than 3 minutes, people will start to fight you because you said you only have 5 minutes and that was 2 minutes ago. So I'll allow you to drop the line, but you have to be quick. Welcome. We cannot hear you. See, your mic is not working.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, IoT.
Yeah.
I'm here to tackle you just once again.
Why you want to tackle me?
Yeah,
Okay.
these 3 minutes I will use it to tackle you anyway.
Okay.
Okay,
Go on. Go
just
on.
kidding. All right. So in general, it was a good game. I think Super Eagles did well considering the atmosphere. Look at the huge crowd, and kudos to Nigerian fans. We could hear all we are saying. Give us one goal. That means, I mean, they were also up to it. I wasn't expecting that much raw from that. So the everything was in favor of the Russian team. The officiating wasn't as good. There were, a lot of bad calls that I felt like could have been better. The tackles, the Russians were rushing. They were not there. It wasn't a friendly for them, and it was so. In general, I think the Super Eagles did very well. The other
Mm.
thing I wanted to say is that I looked at the goal that Tolua Rokodare scored. No, no, not Tolua Rokodare.
Is
The
Aruko
heading.
that scored now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
the chance
The
that
heading that
Boniface. Oh,
Boniface,
okay.
got. It was almost similar to the cross that this guy gave Desert. That he chested it, composed it very well. Almost something similar, in our previous game. When you look at, like, I think against Ghana,
Against Ghana, the goal. I know.
yeah, that Cyril Desert scored. He chested it, composed it, and then it could have also maybe gone for maybe trying to add or do something else. Now, not really trying to compare, but just to show the difference in how people take their chances. Chances as a
Okay.
as a
No, 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 no.
don't
I just
put
want
me
to
to my
say
2 minutes. I
no.
have two
Okay.
minutes left.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
two
Finish your
minutes
two
left.
minutes. Finish your 2 minutes.
Yeah. So you have that, and I think it's all about decision. The other thing I saw about, I'm not trying to bash Boniface here, but I also, looking at the game while the game was going on, there were times that the urgency wasn't there in terms of putting pressure. Now, putting pressure doesn't have to do with tactics. Like the pass back to the goalie, it's not about the setting or the tactics that coach is asking you to play. It's about what you do. It's not the coach that will tell you this is how you should rush and put pressure on the goalie.
That's I mean the coach could have, so again I don't know, this is speculation, but
Yeah,
the coach could have told them not to press too high.
yeah, but we need press to eye. No, press to eye is different from when you are. It's in front of you. They are passing. It's not like the
But
ball went to the
no, no.
goalie
But
and then
Doctor
so
Adesonya,
you
it's different now. If you are, so again, if you play football or this thing, if you are pressing as the striker, not that I'm a striker, but if there are two center backs and the goalkeeper, so you are pressing three players essentially.
yeah.
If you run towards the goalkeeper, he's going to play it to his one of his defenders. If there is nobody that is pressing that defender, at that point you're just doing cardio. You're just running around. Is
Mhm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they can always make an error, but they are more like,
That is
no, now,
exactly what happened. That is exactly
but if you
you
look at
doing
it,
that cardio is like a 50-50 chance.
but the difference
You
was
know,
that when they did make the error, is because we had more players pressing. Because even in the first half, there was a time or two times that Boniface was upset, even though I feel like he gets upset too easily. But there was a time that he was calling Dele Bashiru to come and press with him, and Dele Bashiru didn't go, so he also didn't go.
that
You
is
know,
exactly what I'm saying. So when you press and your teammate is not pressing with you, two things will happen. It's either the goalie will pass to another person or we want to shoot it out. And shooting it out gives you like it's now going to be a duel 50-50
yeah,
up
you can
off
win the
up
ball.
the field. Anything can happen. You can get a ball rather than allowing them to play to you and build up. And of course, I saw the Russian team, they had very good passing and all of that. They were very good with their flickers and all of that. So it was a good game in general. I think Oyedika was trying to put pressure on himself with holding too much at some point, and then he wasn't doing those simple passes. Like I saw some passes that were a little bit too heavy or with a little bit of skill, and it couldn't go right to then to Simon. Now going to
Oh
Simon,
yeah, you have 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Okay.
Simon, I think I agree with Eddie, one of the callers,
Yeah.
that Simon would have done better if he had all other teammates that attention could be shifted towards. And then he had a lot of attention on him, quote and unquote. He was being marked. It wasn't given any breather at all, breathing space. And so I think today was not just his game. Yes, fine, whatever rating you gave him, he deserved it, he got it. But I mean, that is also the
Mm,
just bringing the rationale behind
mm,
Simon's performance. So
mm. All right.
in general, it's a good game.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Adesanya. The only
Yeah.
thing before I go, I'll just disagree with you. So when you were giving the parallels of the two goals, and again, I don't want it to seem as if, but it's not today that they've accused me of defending players, so I don't even care too much. They've said I've defended every player.
We know.
But
Onumonu and
That's what exactly, they've accused me of defending everybody. But I feel like, yeah, even though I used to say that anyone was my girlfriend that time.
yeah, of course, I was even waiting for when are we getting the invitation
Yeah,
card
of
and
course,
all
I
of
don't know
that.
yet. But so
We your
the,
in-laws in
the
the
difference
areas.
between those two goals for me was the fact that for the Ghana one, the Ghanaian defender had slipped. So automatically Desas had more time because the defender was on the floor. Versus the fact that the one that Boniface had today, the defender was challenging him.
I get you. That's understandable, but the difference is just that having that
No, I
consciousness
hear
that I
you. I hear
test it
you
and
on this.
control it
I hear you. I hear you.
versus another striker would have, instead of controlling it that way and shooting, could have moved backward and
No,
tried
I
to shoot
understand. Like I mean,
and played a kind of
is a
volley
split decision moment.
instinct. Yes,
Somebody else could have controlled and volleyed. Somebody else could have taken step back and
exactly,
volleyed it. It's a split decision
exactly,
moment. It didn't work for
exactly.
him, but
And Tolu
let's.
Arokodare just slick, just
I
that
mean, it was a
placement,
good finish. It was a
very
good finish.
very good finish.
See, Boniface posted something on his Instagram now that he has hung up his boots for Nigeria. I don't know. Boniface
Really?
needs to. I mean, he jokes too much, but that's not the kind of joke that he should be making. But
Well,
Boniface needs to
okay.
go and beg his
Well,
village
okay.
people because I don't know why when he's the one playing, they will not sell game. When they bring somebody on, now then they sell game, the person score. Now everybody starts to install time. So I don't know who he offended though, but he needs to go and beg whoever he offended.
Okay.
So that
We'll,
luck, some luck, he needs luck,
we'll be fine. We'll be
But
fine.
anyways, thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Adisoya. Go
Thanks.
and carry your
Alan.
daughter to
Yeah.
gymnastics.
Bye. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chike has been waiting patiently. Thank you for your patience. Welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'll say was a analyzing this game. I'll say we Nigeria urgently needs a number 10. What do you think? Who can you say now is a Pedri
Pedro
equivalent? I mean, right now in Europe, you can. I think we can agree that the Spanish national team is
is the
the, let's
standard.
say, at least the most
Mm.
exciting. Yeah, the standard exactly. So we need. There is no creative midfielder in that team. Like I mean, looking at it objectively, like number 10, nobody like that we can see. We urgently need to get somebody, who can deliver those passes, control the tempo of the game. Okay, Iwobi was not there, but who else can we bring in? The person that comes to my mind is we talked about Tino and
Mm.
Jorin. Maybe that may be an option, or the guy in Sevilla. What's his name? Chidera. I don't know if can
No,
he play that
I
number 10
wouldn't put
position
you
very well.
right there.
Okay, fine. But you get the idea. Whoever the person is, the person needs to. We need that urgent creativity in that team is really really lacking, and that was one. In rating this team, I'll say from the goalkeeper position, Marco okay was I think was good. Although the Russians didn't really test him as much, but he was really really good what he delivered. Um, the striker position, man, Boniface. I really like Boniface, but you cannot. It's tiring trying to defend. It's really really tiring because if you look at a player like Dembele, how he presses, forget an attack in defense when you don't have the ball, how he presses the opposition, forcing the defenders or the goalkeeper to make errors. That's defense. Enrique would demand that of you. You have to press. I didn't see that from him
Mm.
today. What about defensively? Even if he did it in maybe now the goal that we scored was due to Tolu being, anticipating and he reacted quickly. And I mean, he could have decided to just stay back, but that's let me be,
But I
that
mean,
is
okay,
that's
don't worry. I don't want to. Don't worry.
no,
Before they say I'm
we're,
defending
we're,
Boniface again.
no, no, we're,
Yeah.
we're trying to tell you how you don't know what will
No, I
happen when
understand,
you
but I
when,
think the thing that for me, because I like to look at it objectively, I think the thing that a lot of people are discounting is that the strategy of the whole team had changed at that point.
yes,
The whole team was pressing. Because if you look at the goal that we
yes,
scored, it wasn't just Tolu that was pressing; everybody was pressing. I understand that Tolu, no,
yes,
like I'm not trying to knock him at all. He showed great anticipation to get in front of the defender because while the pass was bad, if he wasn't awake, he won't have got in front of the
yes,
defender. So he showed great anticipation to get in front, and the finish was beautiful. Because he could have tried to take it on his
exactly,
left foot, and maybe the goalkeeper saved it. But the finish was beautiful.
exactly,
But I'm just saying that like it wasn't as if Tolu came on and then Tolu said, "Oh, me, I'm pressing." Oh, this guy was not pressing. At that point, the whole team was pressing. So maybe again, and these are the things that obviously we're not in the locker room. We don't know the tactics. Because I feel like that was something that Coach Eric Shell himself changed for the second half. We
yes,
we realized that we were losing the game. We had to come out a little bit more. But yeah, go on. Sorry, finish your
yes.
thoughts very quickly.
Oh no, fine. Okay, so for me, I think what was really, really, I mean, we have to keep the standards very, very high. If we say we're planning to go to the World Cup, you're the champ, you're the giant of Africa or giant or champions of Africa, so to say, the standards cannot drop. I'm sorry, the standards cannot drop. I'm not comparing this team now to a team like, you know, to a team like, I don't know, Morocco. You have to be thinking World Cup. Is this team ready for the World Cup? This is where I'm looking at it. How can we improve? How can we make it better? How can we even, make it more exciting? Although some players were not available. So I'll say creativity was urgently lacking in this team.
Mm.
They will create very few creative players, especially in the middle. But I mean, apart from that, there's still room for improvement. So that's just the
All
feedback
right.
I basically had. But goalkeeper, Marco Okoye and there needs to be serious competition there because no goalkeeper should have it, have the guaranteed start. I think Marco Okoye should also. I'm happy he's challenging for that number one spot as well. So I think that's a good
All right.
feedback
Thank
too.
you very much, Mr. Chike. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank
Okay. We have how about maybe 6, 7 people waiting. And then we'll wrap up for today. Wilson, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank
It's a
you.
privilege, I must say. I just want to say three thoughts. I'll be very quick. First, I must talk about Boniface.
Talk. Go ahead. Go
Yes.
ahead.
I need you to go and watch the second half again. Just watch the
Okay.
second half when he started. It wasn't Boniface that was pressing. It was Uche Cristantos. And then after a while, maybe the coach wasn't satisfied, then he changed him, and they continued that way. If you're a striker, that's your basic function. Top nine, that is your basic function because you're not going to strike back to go and defend. So you need to do that press. If nobody's pressing, you react, you shout, you get angry, but you press. So
But
for me,
even
I don't think I don't.
when he got angry, people were insulting him. Now why is he
No, no,
vexing?
it's no people and insult him, and then people always react, but he should
Mm,
have pressed. He just did two, I think it was three times, and then he didn't. He disappeared.
mm,
And then even when the coach spoke to them, and then he came back second half, and his teammates reacted, he was not pressing.
mm.
Go and watch the second half.
I'll
He
watch
was
it back.
changed. He was
I'll
not
watch it back. Mm.
pressing. So that's one. Then number two is that for the goalkeeping, I think it's settled. We don't need three goalkeepers. These two guys are already okay.
We need a third choice now.
No, we don't need any third choice. Third choice. What are we using with that? We need players that will play. Then for that of Moses Simon, Moses Simon, yes, he said there was no option in the bench. Football is all about the tactics you bring. For
Mm,
me, I think Eze Olakunle, the guy from Russia, should have come up earlier and he
mm.
should have replaced Moses Simon. I just think the only reason why they used him to replace this other guy was it Bashiru? No, there was the defender. The defender was already getting angry. What's his name? I've forgotten the guy they used to change him. He had been tackled so much, and the
Big.
reference. Oh, no, no,
I
no. I'm
said
talking about the. Yeah, go ahead.
no. You said
So
the defender that they brought on.
no, not the one they brought on. The one they used to replace Lakunle, the guy from Russia, the
It
one that they
was
brought
okay.
on,
I
the
think he
winger.
replaced Uche.
He replaced Uche Crisantos. Yes.
Yes.
Now, what I'm saying is that he should have replaced um, Moses Simon,
Mm,
and then we'll have tried. Is everybody? I know people can react, but for me, if I were to be the coach, I would have replaced Moses Simon. Then the next person I would have brought in would have been Savior, as a Savior. I
mm,
mean, Bashiri was not. He's not a winger. He was played on the wing, making the midfield more compatible.
mm,
Yes, so our home base might not be, people might say, well, but man, if those guys go abroad, they are the same people who still play.
mm,
So the fact that they're Nigerian is a friendly, you should play them. And then these Russians were getting so rough. One of the things I noticed about with Simon in these three matches is that anybody that watched that game will find out that guy was being very careful. And he's a one-style player. To get injury, that is very easy for such persons. So
mm,
what we'll have done will have been, since we are already, thank God, we had got one goal, we'll have still brought in. Me, I still say they should try Isaac Savior. They should try
mm,
Isaac Savior. That's just my own. He should be tried. That is, he's a friendly. He should have been replaced. If they win us 3-1, we don't lose anything. But Moses Simon should have gone out because the guy he already won. Let me tell you, the other thing is that some of these big guys, they already assume they have a shirt.
mm,
The reason why this guy could push and score that goal, I want to say that if it was what's his name, Boniface, he wouldn't have been alert enough to have tracked that guy.
mm,
But why this guy told Louis that he needs that shirt? It's what that we are saying, there's the hustle, they fall, oh boy, and I say the guy need the shirt. So, and that is the essence of friendly matches. You try people that need the shirt.
mm,
So, fortunately for Simon, for this guy is Boniface. I really don't know, but he has to just be careful because I mean, reaction in and out of the pitch is very important. So, if I were to be the coach, I won't call him
mm,
again. That's just it. Because one, you already have 2, 3 nines standing by, 3 shots, 9. Tolu is there. The coach likes Tolu. I mean, I've watched the all from qualifiers down. He keeps bringing the guy in. It might be for 10 minutes, but he'll bring the guy in. So, which is a sign that he likes him. So, Tolu definitely will be in that team. What's his name? Of course, we have
Osimhen.
our own Osimhen already there. So a third person, and you know that a third person we can't have four. To have at most 3 9s, like top 9. So, which is already making with the way we saw the games that they played, except if the coach decides to maybe because he's not tough or rough enough. Cyril is already taking Boniface's place. Of course, we won't lose Chukwueze. If you're a right-wing coach, you won't drop Simon. And you will definitely have to carry Iwobi. So my own advocate to just wrap up is I think if we have a match like that and there's a player like Simon that is already locked up, we should try
All
somebody
right.
else. And if it's not to push the game forward, to break play. So I still say people might not like it, but as a savior, is an option in the midfield. And then if you can try Bashiru at the wing, try him, put him there, and that's it.
All
So thank
right.
you for having me. Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
very
a
much,
nice
Mr.
game.
Wilson.
All
I
right.
appreciate you. Okay. So I see your message, but there are other first time callers here as well. So let me just quickly let you guys know. I'm going to be taking Temi Tokwe next, then Collins, then the other Temi Tokwe, then Somerset, then Sports Grinder, and then if Felix Agu is here, we'll wrap up with him. So that's the order that will be going. Um, yes, Temi Tokwe, welcome, sir. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Can you
Even though
hear
your
me?
connection is a bit, but we can hear you. Go on.
Okay. All right. Good game so far. I'm getting the team not really to really excel, but people are really into players like Osi, guys that are he's a different player completely. But understand, I try to play generally tactics. We champ have so many guys that prefer runners where they want to the what's Russia's backs around. They do that. They were moving towards back runners. A lot of things. So basically, our coach lacked this very well. And I had one of us saying we go players in this day and age, probably until we bring in all these creative that cars these days well. So I did. I would have loved a situation whereby we were brave enough to go 1v1 in defense. Oftentimes, we had a spare man in defense while we were pressing. That was easier for Rocha. The moment we were able to break our press, we had to do all of those things. I have more confidence that okay, with them we can beat more players up to win the ball back fast enough to hit them back and score more. It's just we will score that goal. For Tolu, good. I mean, he was very aware, he was ready, and his chance very, very. So all in all, it was a good game. It was a good game.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Temsokwe. I appreciate you joining. Okay, so I'm going to take
All right.
Collins next, then Tim Tokwe, then Somerset, then Sports Grinder. Um, Mr. Collins, welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Thank you for having me on
Yes,
your
good evening.
program.
Please
I
turn off
think
the other one that
you
you're
did
listening
a
to. Please
wonderful
turn off the
Please
other
turn
one that
off
you're
the
listening
other one that you're listening to. Please turn off the other one that.
Okay, sir.
to. Okay, go on.
Okay, go on.
Okay. I think you've done a very good analysis of the match today, but I have a few things to say. With all due respect, I think I may know the reason why
the coach did not use any of the home-based players, even when it seems that the Russians were tired. Take your mind back to our match against this country that we played, Jamaica. Look at the 2 goals we conceded. I won't like to mention a player name, which was a very fast ball. So having said that, because I heard people saying it was a friendly match, look at Nevet, the Russian coach. He wanted to win the match at all costs. He was not happy that the match ended in a draw. One thing about trying to win a football match is that the more you win, the more confidence you have. And mind you, this match we played today, I know some South Africans, a technical crew, we surely watched this match. And they will have learned 1 or 2 things from the match. The good thing, one of the good things I can pick for today's match is that Nigeria did not play at full strength, and that's the plus to the team. I hope you are getting me. I've said it in my comment earlier. Bright did very well in the second half. But with all due respect, there was a gap of communication between Bright and this other guy, Ajayi, that scored the own goal. It was not at its best when the ball had to pass through him. Having said that, the coach did something that I think, for me personally, I think that coach has the technical ability to move Nigeria. If they deduct 3 points from South African, we, of course, might qualify for the World Cup. The chance may be slim, but the chance is there. I am telling you with all confidence, if we had used any of our home-based coaches, we would have lost this match today. We would have lost the match in the first half. Because by the time you were like 2, 3 goals down in the first half, it will be difficult for you even to introduce like a tactics that will change the game. So having said that, for me, my man of the match today goes to the goalkeeper. He did very well. He did over impressed with his calmness. The only thing I actually saw 1 or 2 things was the distribution of the ball, which I think it needs more confidence. It needs more playing time to get used to that. The team is not like that bad, but we have a lot of work to do. Arukuda, he came on, he was he had his eye on the ball. He wanted to score. But me, personally, I'm not the kind of a person that believes that when a player wants to join a team, then you get the best. Even when you show the best when you want to get into the team, if you don't have what it takes to remain in the team, you won't stay long in that team. It's obvious. You won't stay long. He has what it takes to be in that team. But currently, we all know that our best striker at the moment is Osimhen. There's no going back. So who is going to be down number 2? That's the problem. And I think they've given Boniface more than enough chances to prove himself. He's not a bad player, but he just needs to understand the way the game is played in Super Eagles and key into it. He's a very good player. But one thing is that if I'm a coach, if you are good, if you're not giving me a result, I'll keep you on the bench. It's as simple as that. Desai is coming up. Olokudara is trying to come up again. Here come this guy again. What's his name now? Boniface. We still have Sodiq. So who's going to be down number 2? The competition is there. And I believe if anybody amongst these 4 players that can up his game is going to take down number 2 spots. It's now left for them to fight for that. I won't be the one to decide that for them. Then having said that again, I think there is something we actually missed in the match today. And everybody was just saying, Shea had a bad game, this had a bad game. That midfield was not as creative as it ought to be. We realized that we need Iwobi in that team. If Iwobi had been in that team, we would have at least maybe possibly got the second goal, even if we not maybe a 2-2 draw or a 2-1, if our defense line was disciplined enough to hold on. So I just have to say that we need more of these kind of matches before September, where we'll be playing South Africa.
There's no other match
If
before
the
September.
anything, there's no other match before September. Oh, we have a long way to go. Because if you look at the South Africans, with all due respect, they are no match to the Nigerian team, but there is determination and there is teamwork in that South African team. In terms of quality, they are not really there. But if Nigeria should go to the World Cup, the chance that we will perform better is higher than South Africa. But South Africa has a team because they have that teamwork and they believe in themselves. I don't want to go back to where we find ourselves in this shoe, but I just pray that they get the 3 point knocked off and we pick up from where we should pick up. Who knows, might be in the World Cup. I think you've done a very great job. Let me give other people a chance also to express their own view concerning it. This is the
All right.
first time I'll be joining you live, and I'm very, very happy. And I'm
Thank you.
proud that we have a Nigerian that will connect us to watch the match live, not join people from other countries. Some of our matches, we join the stream from Ghana, from Cameroon. At least being a Nigerian, I think, is a plus. And I think I too, I'll try to join to support in the little way I can by subscribing at least and see what happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. Thank you very much. Okay, Tim Tokwe, you're up next, and then Somerset, and then Sports Grinder, and we'll wrap up for this evening. We're already over time, so apologies. I cannot take anyone that hasn't already called in. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And we have weekly shows, so there's always opportunity for you to come and share your thoughts. We're live every week. Yes, welcome, Tim Tokwe.
Hello,
Good
good evening.
evening.
How are you?
I'm
How are
good.
you
How are you?
today? First of all, who's extending to the left finger? Musamu is done. But the past 4 months, you are giving us Rwanda against Zimbabwe in Nigeria. It was rough.
Mm.
And secondly, that Saudi Arabian league that affected him badly. Ekon cannot pass like bullying the outside the most thing. And for Boniface, Kiri and Yakini, what Osimhen has done to Nigeria? What time to perfect it? And it's I want to score by all. Calm down, play football, get goals. So like that is a full good performance. Mechi, I think you need to work on defensive ability. Make some errors today and also. So overall, tell the good manager, can give him chance. But don't know best player. They're not good at all. They're not good at all. Our league is good start for yourself. No defeat, 2 win, 3 win, and 1 draw. It's still okay for me. Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you very much, Tim Tokwe. I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you very much. Okay, Somerset, you're up next. Welcome, sir. We cannot hear you. Your voice is very low. I'm good. How are you, sir? Your voice is very low. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not even going to lie. I can barely hear what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe you're covering your mic somehow or something, but I can barely hear what you're saying. I don't know if other people can hear.
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Okay. So, Mr. Somerset, I don't know. Maybe you need to. I don't know. Do you have
Yes,
earphones
I'm hearing you
in?
now.
Are you using?
You hear me now?
Okay, here now it's much better. Yes, yes.
Like I said, I give kudos to the coach of the Super Eagles because has never been that good, considering what the way they play today. And also, I've never been a fan of Okoye, but impressed me today. And he need to improve in some aspect of the goalkeeping, like where he positioned himself when they scored that goal. He's not supposed to be there. I played soccer, when I was young, but then things are not the way it used to be then. But all the same, what is his name? Boniface. I don't know how long how many times they will give him to impress. I mean, improve himself.
Hmm.
It's not improving, or maybe it might be a good striker, but it has never worked for him in Super Eagles. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of other strikers that might do better, like this home base. They are go hungry. The coach would have tried some of them today, prove their worth. And I think I'm really impressed with the performance today.
Hmm.
Whatever whatever that happened, I think that coach is really good. He has a vision. If they would assist him, unlike the way we used to see coaches criticize coaches and discourage them, assist him. You understand what I mean? I think he will do better.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the
All right.
job. I like your own explanations and everything. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Okay, Sports Grinder, you're
Hello?
up next. But before I bring on Sports Grinder, very quickly, I just want to say thank you to no, not this. Thank you to Adedapo Sunday Fetuga for becoming a member of the channel. Much, much, much appreciated. We appreciate every member. If you'd like to support the channel, please leave a super chat. You can leave your comments in a super chat if you have any questions. Of course, super chats cost you some money. But if you have the means, guys, support. It's not easy to bring you these streams. It's not easy to be on live talking for 2, 3, 4 hours. So please, if you do have the means, just where you're typing all your comments, you'll see a little money sign. Click that. You can support with a super chat and would appreciate you. You can also join channel as a member to enjoy some exclusive content and so many other perks. So please, if you do have the means, support the channel with a super chat. And if you do not have the means, if you don't want to give me your money, that's fine. Just make sure you've liked the video and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, our final caller for this evening. Welcome, sir. What's grinder?
Oh, hi. Hi. Sorry. I was having issues with my camera at first. Yeah, so
No
let me just
problem.
keep this brief. I hardly ever come in after a game
Mm,
because, emotions are high, but at least it's a friendly. But from our play so far on the show, I'll say at least these 3 games. We're really static. We don't have that movement. In fact, I actually analyze it like players just stand. Like they get the ball, they hold it, trap it, and no one is making a run. The only person that was trying to make runs today was Onyeka, but whenever the ball comes to him, he doesn't like he can win it, but he doesn't make good passes. He tried a little bit today, but but we're too static and at some point, I just told my friend I watched it with, I said, hey, we're not going to score today. We don't have Iwobi. Iwobi, people will ask, what does he do? He doesn't give assist and all that. But he doesn't really need to give the assist. It's his pre-play, the first pass he makes once he gets the ball. It tends to free us up, when we're attacking. So he does not necessarily give the attack and the assist, but his first pass or a couple of passes he gives frees the person that will likely give the assist. Well, Boniface is having it rough. Like, I'm not going to dwell on it. Everybody has talked about it. I don't know why he would take immediately after the game to go, post on Instagram. He should have a better team around him that can advise him.
tell him to come and hire me.
Yeah. Like we should push you to do that. Yeah. Like, but again, another thing I noticed is we were so happy in the Jamaica match, but if you notice, we built out of the back a lot, and that's because we had Benjamin Francis and Igbo who that could pick out passes that could actually break the lines. Like if you notice, Benjamin Francis once he gets the ball, he pushes up, and his first pass can beat 2 or 3 people.
Mm,
And the midfielder that's receiving it is almost deep in the Jamaican half where you can better do things. But Ekonga and Ajayi, they just pass to the very closest man, which is sometimes Onyeka or Onyedika. But Benjamin Francis could take that pass and give it to Teller. to give it to Chukwueze that was more advanced. But we didn't really see that today. Our defenders were just passing to the closest man, and that meant the midfielders had to drop deeper to actually pick the ball. You know, and Ekong does this crossfield thing that like it's almost predictable. Bruno Emachi would just push up, he would just give a crossfield pass, and we don't even make any advancement with that. And by the time you're controlling it down and bringing it down, everybody has swarmed in on you. So we need to change our game pattern. Like we're so predictable. Simon, he's been in my books. He's one of the guys. If I was the coach today, I would discard for life. Like first person I'm chopping off. But everybody, some people like him, some people don't like him. Some people are saying he had a bad game today. To me, he generally has this kind of games. Well, he'll give one or two crosses that may lead to a goal. But when you have a player that is static, almost like a boarding, it's like you can predict his play. It's almost you're almost playing into the hands of your opponent. So the better Simon leaves the team,
But
I
this
think
is
we will do.
see, this is not the first time that people are saying Simon should leave the team. Then he will not come to life and give us like a nice run in the AFCON or something. Because we've seen this from Simon before. Simon always has these spells. He will have spells where he's playing well. Then he will now just have 6, 7 games that are like, what is this guy
He
doing?
plays,
And
yeah.
then he will come back again. So let's not throw him away because we might still need him in the future.
No, no, okay, maybe not throw him away, but keep him in the bench. Like at least maybe to come in when we need a counter. But he even kills our counters. So sometimes even using Simon when you need counter attack, he'll go to the side, kill the ball, and want 2 or 3 players to come before he dribbles them. So like, I don't really know how best to use him. I think Nance uses him the best. I think because they're relegation threat inside, so almost all their play is on the back foot, and he will always have space
Face to
when
distribute.
the opposing side is pressing them. So but Nigeria never plays like that. Like we never have that opponent, except we play against Morocco or we go to the World Cup and we have to play like that. Yeah, but in Africa, we're always on. We're expected to be on the front foot, so his gameplay doesn't really suit us like that. Then at least I'm happy. Like I really wanted that savior everybody has been shouting to come and
Isaac
play.
Xavier.
Yeah, to play today because now he didn't play. That noise will still trickle on till September.
Mm.
But at least I'm happy Shell showed everybody that, hey, I don't trust these guys. I'm gonna do my 3 substitutions and call it a day. Or what did four he did
It
today.
was three.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put these guys, whether you guys like it or not, I'm not putting them. I'm happy he did that. He's shown the world like, hey, I don't trust these guys. You guys keep forcing me to pick these guys up. You know, arrange friendlies, chant friendlies for them. Don't bring these guys like they add no value. Like they're just taking space that we could have had a better
But I feel like
players.
for this particular game, we just needed bodies. Because
Yeah, we
everybody
needed
pulled out
bodies,
after the Unity Cup, like everybody started pulling out of the match. So we needed bodies.
but the same way they invited Olakunle, you could have invited and well, yeah, you had 1 week from the Swiss Cup to invite Otele. He could have come.
Visa now, visa.
The um
Because
is
that's
that
why
guy not
some
a
people
European? Is he not
that
a British guy or something? Is
Otele,
he not a
no, he's
British
a
guy?
Niger boy.
Uh,
And
I always thought he
even
was.
I'm not sure. The Britain is not part of Europe anymore. Because I know,
Yeah,
and I think if they are traveling with the NFF, they usually use their Nigerian passports most of the time. So they
yes.
would still need to. Because I know Maduka Okoye still had to get a visa.
Yeah. Yeah, but still like that's the thing. NFF need the kind of friendly they were picking. Like there was gonna be that risk. But I guess we could do with the home base.
Yeah.
But just taking these guys and not using them,
No,
it
it
sends
sends
a
a
kind of
bad
message
signal.
to
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, yeah. Like it's like I don't really want you. Then my last 2 points are Shell has started with 4-4-2 diamond and everything. But it's almost as after 5 games, it's almost as if it is not working. The players are tactically disciplined,
Wait,
but they're
sorry.
not
Hold on. Let
expressive.
me hail my person. Shout out
Okay.
to TBD Management. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Okay, you can go on
Yeah,
before
sure.
I forget.
Yeah, so it's almost like if the 4-4-2 diamond is not working, but the players kind of tend to be more. tactically aware. So now that he has brought this tactical awareness to them, I would say he should give it a try. Give another formation, a 4-3-3. Although he's never played, like I've never really seen him coach another team. Oran, I never really followed his coaching in Oran, but I know Mali never played 4-3-3. They played the 4-4-2 diamond, and they were very good with it. But it's almost as if we don't have the personnel. We are playing people out of position. Bashir is playing on the right side, something he's not played, in a minute. I think he sparingly played there on that hated spot, but that was not even midfield. He was right winger. So you're playing him there, and he's played people out of position, making them look bad, like Teller. He's made Teller look bad. Like I would say he should be more tactically, flexible
Flexible. Mm.
to make sure players, enjoy their game. But I think if we have our strong squad from this whole fall team exercise, it shows that Onyedika is good, Onyeka is good, and I believe if these two guys are in our team, we have what it takes to go to South Africa and win them
Mm.
and turn the tides around.
Mm.
So that's it. So overall, the whole exercise, the Unity Cup and Russia was a good exercise. We had some wins from it, but and we also had some losses like the home base and all that. Yeah.
All right.
So that's
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
sure. All right.
Okay, that was Sports Grinder. A lot to say there. But yes, I want to thank everybody that called in. I think overall, when we look at this friendly window, the window was more exciting than I thought it would be. Honestly, it was more exciting than I thought it would be. The two Unity Cup matches, because of the inclusion of the home base and the fact that it was a friendly tournament and it was so close to the end of the season, I was thinking that it wouldn't have too much life. But we saw how exciting the Unity Cup was. Maybe it's just because of the countries that were invited and the culture and the vibes that we bring. That was very exciting. And then this Russia friendly, before the game, I was of the opinion that we shouldn't be facing Russia, considering all the factors and the reason why they are banned and the fact that they are banned. I was of the opinion that we shouldn't be playing Russia. But the game of football itself was a fantastic game of football. It was exciting. There were good moments. Russia had moments in the game. The crowd was amazing. The reception that our players and staff and everybody faced in Russia since the moment they got there had been exceptional. Kudos to Russia for treating our players very, very well. The game itself was fun. Arokodare got to score his first goal for Nigeria. Olakunle Olusegun got to play his first game for Nigeria. A fantastic one. Like Sports Grinder said, the fact that the coach doesn't trust our home base is not the best thing in the world. But at the same time, if the coach has seen them in training and he just does not think that they are that good, then that is his opinion. He just does not think that they are that good. And I think it is back on us and the people that run our football back home to look at it and see how they can improve the quality of players that we have in and around the football system over there. Um, I want to just say, guys, thank you to everyone that supported. If you have the means, please leave a super chat just to help us, create content to support the job that we do. And if you are new to the channel, if this is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We are live every Monday for the Niger FC podcast. After now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go watch the match again. And then on Monday, myself and my co-host Smith Lai would be back on to really look at the game properly, to analyze it, and to talk about different things that we might have missed in 90 minutes. Because when you watch a game live, you're following the ball. When you watch a game later to analyze it, you're watching everybody off the field movements, you're looking at details a bit more. So some opinions that I had now might change between now and Monday. Some opinions that I didn't have now might come between now and Monday. So please make sure you join us on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Nigerian time. We are live every Monday. So if you have the means, we always only discuss Nigerian football on this channel. So yes, please join us next Monday. Sometimes we're live on Tuesday, sometimes we're live on Wednesdays, but every Monday is guaranteed. And of course, every friendly match, we will do our best to bring you the game here. Super Falcons, Super Eagles, under 17 friendly matches. Unfortunately, we cannot stream any competitive match because FIFA has, broadcast rights, CAF has broadcast rights, so we cannot stream any competitive games. But friendly games, we always do our best to bring you guys the games and have these post-match conversations. You can also follow us on Instagram at Eagles Tracker NG so that you can catch up with our daily content. We're posting on Instagram every single day, transfer news, transfer rumors, and so much more. Follow us on Instagram at Eagles Tracker NG. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much. It's been 3 hours, 36 minutes of this stream, so it has run way long enough. Thank you very much. My name is IoT. This is Eagles Tracker, the home of Nigerian football, and I will see you guys on Monday for the Niger FC podcast. Thank you. Bye bye.